Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about Hogan's Heroes. More specifically, we're going to be talking about Sergeant Carter, who of course was played by the amazing Larry Hovis. Now I do have to say that Larry Hovis was probably one of my favorite heroes from the entire show. Him and Dickie Dawson, that's of course Richard Dawson. We may know him from Family Feud and of course playing Newkirk. Now, I do want to remind you that down in the description below you have links to several things from my Instagram to my Facebook where you can even message me. We can have maybe a small chat about the shows that I cover, all that good stuff. So thank you so much for supporting and let's get right to it. Now, I previously made a video on the heroes themselves, the actors, and how there was a very competitive slash, I don't know, kind of mild animosity between them because they were all trying to vouch for lines and popularity on the show. Of course, there was 5 main cast members on the hero side, and then of course we had the antagonists, the villains, played by Werner as well as John Banner. But getting back to Larry Hovis, he always proclaimed that he was the invisible one, or he was the invisible person on Hogan's Heroes. Now I'm going to dive deep into what that means. You may not know that Larry Hovis was also a writer, and he tried writing a Hogan script with co-star Richard Dawson. Now, according to him, he said, "We roughed out an outline of an episode we thought we'd like to write." And Eddie Feldman, that is of course the creator of Hogan's Heroes, who was just about the most princely guy in the world, very kindly said, "Let me think about it." And then he suddenly realized that he didn't want to alienate all these wonderful writers that they had. They were really good to them, and they should just act and leave the writing to them. That was something that he was passionate about later on writing, but he thought when he was on Hogan's Heroes that, well, he could get some writing done, but unfortunately it did not happen successfully. He also noted that he very often got lost in the crowd of the actors. In the 1970 TV Guide interview, it quoted him saying, "I wasn't pictured in the Hogan's Heroes comic book." Now think about that. That's really crazy because of course Carter was, to me, very significant on the show. Going back to what he said, "I wasn't on the bubblegum trading cards either." I mean, that's pretty significant. And he was even missing from the Hogan's Heroes lunchbox. He called himself the Invisible Man. One of those people who every vestige of existence is destined to be erased. Wow, that's pretty negative in my opinion of how he thought of himself on the show. I mean, he did such great impersonations of generals. He even did one of Schicklgruber, as the Three Stooges would say. An amazing one, if I may add. However, don't let his quote dishearten you and leave you with a bad taste in your mouth, because after the years went by, his tone softened about the show and his feelings overall. He had no sour grapes about playing the part, and in fact he said, quote, "Being a part of the Hogan's Heroes cast was one of the luckiest things in the world. My goodness, when you really analyze my character, any competent actor could have done what I did." And the fact that Eddie Feldman said, "You're the guy that's going to get to do it for 6 years," I mean, who could have had a complaint? End quote. Now think about that. I still think Larry Hovis was selling himself short. I don't think that just anyone could have played the part of Carter. Like I said, he was so amazing. He was, in my opinion, the best actor on the show in terms of playing a German, especially the superiors, anyone from a general to even a field marshal. He did such a good job and very believable, very funny. He was very comedic. He often reminded me from Laurel and Hardy of course, Stan Laurel. I think he was amazing, and he had that very similar attitude and even walk. What are your thoughts about this, guys and gals? Do you believe that Larry Hovis was selling himself short, or do you agree with what he was saying? Was he pretty dispensable, his character and the acting job that he was doing on the show? If you have a favorite Larry Hovis moment, name it down below in the comments. I would really appreciate it. I would really love to read them, and I think other people would love to read them as well. We'll see you next time. I hope you're not letting any struggles, any negativity get you down. It's not how it's supposed to work. We're always supposed to remain positive and, most importantly, be hopeful. Thanks as always to all the Patreon supporters, especially the executive producers for this video: Andy B, David D, Ricky, and Joe R. Thank you so much to everyone.